Okay, so now in the last part of the demo, we can talk also about a little bit about the troubleshooting of the migration tool and how this should be performed. So basically, all of the errors received in the log, in the migration log, that you can see here, and if any error will appear, basically they will be the errors received from the Octane side. So all of those errors um, posted by Octane, then they will appear also in the log. And most of the times, the most basic errors and the most basic problems that can appear are either the setup, the configuration is not done properly. So probably the ALM repository, the URL, the user, the project is not configured correctly, or in the Octane as well. Or also some of the problems might be with the servers, so the servers must be up and running uh, with the admin, with the user and credentials given inside the configuration file to have admin access to those instances, to those environments of QC and Octane. Also, some of the problems might appear as well in the mapping. So, for example, for list mapping, if there are some values um, that are not mapped, then they will appear. Actually, those errors, types of errors, will not be visible in the log, but it will bother you when you will try to validate all of the migration data inside Octane. So that's why all of the list value mappings that are provided by default by the migration tool should be checked also in QC and mapped to the same values in Octane. Um, that's why also by doing this, it's a very important thing to understand exactly the project and to see exactly what you would like to have on the Octane side when you are doing the migration. Okay, and also some errors that might appear during the migration. For example, the migration of very large projects that can take hours or even days with thousands and hundreds of thousands of entities. A problem that can appear also, it's a connection to server problem, 500 error code, which is not a very big issue, because the migration tool will try to connect again and do the migration of the entities on customization. And if it's the case, and if it's persisting too much, those types of errors, and if you receive too many of those types of errors, then usually a resume mode should fix this issue. If you run it a resume mode afterwards, then it can reconnect again to the servers and try to migrate everything. But mostly this happens when you're trying to make requests to servers and you see the timeout and so on. So, but a resume mode again will fix this, should fix this issue. Okay, and also for the troubleshooting part, what I want to show and share with you is also that we have a PDF file, documentation troubleshooting document, and here you can find basically most of the common issues that might appear inside the migration when you're doing the migration. So, for example, we have here some errors received when the QC is not configured correctly, the quality center, the Octane configuration is not correctly, or some other common types of errors. For example, if you go here on the QC, you will be able to see exactly what error message you should receive, the reason for it, and also the resolution. Okay, so for example, so this error, probably if you receive one of those types of errors, then probably the ALM QC URL location is not configured correctly, or it's missing something, or it's not in the format, or so on. For example, in this case, it's missing the QC the QC slash and format, so on. For example, here we have too many slashes in the location, and so on. So this is a very useful guide, and you can check and see exactly all of the issues that can be encountered, the most common ones. Okay, so this is the troubleshooting guide, which is very helpful. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was very helpful for you. This demo and all of this walkthrough with the migration itself, starting from scratch, viewing the LMQC repositories, the Octane repositories, also how to configure the tool, how to run it in different modes, any of the filters, how to use the filters for the migration, and how to validate the data itself. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you very much.